Going to talk to you today about doing some automation stuff in Photoshop, mainly through the batch and actions command. So the main purpose of this is if you are needing to change a bunch of files all at once, there are some features that you can use in Photoshop that will allow you to quickly go through and make those changes, or file types, vice versa, resolution. So here's the gist of it, and then I'm going to give you a challenge to try to create on your own. So if I'm in Photoshop, you have to have a sample image to work off of first. So if you know what you're going to be doing, you pick one of those pictures and you go to your actions window and you create an action. So basically what this does is it records all of the steps that you're going to do in Photoshop. So let's say I have this image and I want to create an action of whatever I'm going to be doing to it. So I'll say sample action is the name of this, and let's just say for the sake of this example that I need to take all these pictures and put some sort of effect onto it and make them all black and white and the same size. So first thing I'm going to do is use my crop tool, and with the crop tool I'm going to make all of the pictures 2 by 2 with a resolution of 150. Hit the crop and you'll see it's starting to save into my action here. I'm going to make it a black and white. So I'm going to turn it to black and white, and then let's try one other thing. Let's posterize this just to show that you can do all this great stuff here. So it's posterized. Let's add a color onto it too. So I'm adding a color tint to the photo. Okay. So all this has been saved. Finally, I'm going to save it as a JPEG file. Save as. Sure, JPEG. Save it. Okay. And so all of this stuff has been recorded in my actions. I'm going to hit stop, and so it stops recording all this stuff. But now this action has been saved, and anytime I use this action, it's going to do all these things to whatever file I have opened up. So now here's where the cool part comes in. I can do a batch on a bunch of photos. So under File, Automate, there's a batch option. You click that. It asks, what do you want to run this batch with and on? I want to run it with the sample action that I just made. What do you want to run it on? I'll tell you what I want to run it on. I want to run it on this automation folder. Okay, so it's choosing that. Then you can choose where you want to put all that stuff. So I made a new folder called Final Pics. It's empty right now, but all of the ending results will go into this folder. I'll hit choose. By the way, this automation folder that I have here, it's got 5 pictures that I placed in there. So it's going to run this batch on 5 different images. Here you can choose what you want to save those files as. All that stuff can be kind of changed around. So you can have a nice naming convention that you can add into this as well. So all this stuff can be adjusted. And really the next step is just hit OK and watch all this stuff happen. So it's going through all these photos and changing them all to the specific size that it needs to be. Now if I go look at my Final Pics, you'll see that I have a bunch of images in here that have all been applied that crop or that action to it, and they were all done in a bunch of simple steps. So really cool feature. Hopefully you can find some use for it in something one day, but just wanted to show that to you. So there'll be a challenge for you to try, and we'll see how that goes.